All right. We are live on the podcast, so it's too late to go on a potty break if you needed it. I give everyone a chance. This is week 2 of the Bullet Point Open, and we are joined today by our co-host Abby out of Bark River CrossFit. Abby, thanks for joining us.
Hey, what up?
Abby, let me pull up your website.
What's that?
I said I'm going to pull up your website, so you want to
Oh yeah.
give a little intro, who you are, where you're from, what brought you to CrossFit, to the Bullet Point Open.
All right. Yeah, so I'm Abby. I started CrossFit, man, 2015. It feels like forever ago. Um, always active, always did the things, all the sports, all the fun stuff. Dabbled a little bit in the bodybuilding physique world. But when I started CrossFit, okay, so I was anti-CrossFit. I was one of those people. I was converted.
What were
Okay.
you against
I don't
specifically?
know.
If you had to
You
pick
know
two
what?
things you hated the most, kipping pull-ups.
No, it wasn't even that. So it was, I forget what games it was. I think it was the 2013 or 2014 games. And I was at a bar, shocking, back in the day.
Yes.
And the games were on at the bar.
Yep.
And I don't, it
That's
must
how
have
I
been the
experienced
finals or
CrossFit.
something. What's
2000.
that?
I said that's how I experienced CrossFit. 2010. I was at a bar, stuffing
Yeah.
my face with wings, and the games was on. And I think
Yeah.
everyone has that when you're watching sports. You're like, I could do that. I
You
could
could
do
do that.
that, even though I'm drinking beer and stuffing my face with wings, and I could not do anything that was happening on that screen. So,
So
anyways,
I didn't think that I could do it. But the guy I was with at the time, he's like, "Oh, Abby, you should totally do that." I was like, "You're out of your mind. Like I can't do that." But then 2 years later, sure enough, I was at a gym, just like a global gym, and one of the trainers there, he did CrossFit just for fun, at an actual CrossFit gym. And he was like, Abby, come with me. Abby, come with me. And I'm like, no, you guys are ridiculous. All your CrossFit talk and da da da. And then sure enough, he got me to go in one Saturday. It was like a partner Saturday. And I was like, at the time I went, I was like, I was in shape. I looked good. I had all the muscles, all the cool stuff. But of course, they're working on like a 1 rep max clean. And I'm like, but the reason that I got hooked is because I couldn't do it.
mm.
And so I'm one of those people, like, if you tell me I can't do something, then I'm just gonna work harder. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this down. I'm gonna do this. So anyways, that's how I got in it, I guess. So that was, yeah, 2015. I ended up getting pregnant with my first child at the end of that year. So it was right when I was like, you have all those great linear progressions when you first start CrossFit, and I'm like getting good, getting good, getting good, and all of a sudden I get pregnant, which was fine. It was great, it was planned, all that. So um, I had to learn to scale right away, even though it was like, oh, I just learned all these movements, and now I got to modify everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, fast forward, I ended up also having twins, and they are almost 3 now. Did CrossFit, throughout all of that. I was hospitalized for 6 weeks during that pregnancy because they're identical twin boys, and we had a lot of issues. One was growth restricted, so I was hospitalized for 6 weeks, mostly bed rest, and I credit CrossFit to like getting me through, like the mental toughness of having to sit in bed and like, okay, you know what, it's a long wad, guys. This one's a chipper. Like we just got to get through this, right? Head down, like just you do what you got to do, right?
mm-hmm.
Um, whenever I would get like granted like hall passes or get out of bed rest, like I'd be walking up and down the halls. Nurses would come in and find me doing like lunges and air squats in the in the hospital room. But during that time, then there was talk about opening up this box, and I was like, I want to do this. So we opened up Bark River CrossFit 2018, right after I had the boys. So yeah,
Nice.
it's great. 3 years. We're celebrating 3 years now.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Um, what's so your oldest is 3, and then you've got the boys.
So my oldest is 5,
5.
going on 15. Let me tell
Gotcha.
you, 5-year-old girl. She's a mini me. So she is, her and I, oh, we fight. We fight.
Excellent. You're like, you've gotten all of my strengths and you know my weaknesses.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I like it. James, how old are your kids?
My son's going to be 11 in a few days, and then a 9-year-old daughter, and then a 6-year-old
Yeah, so you get it.
daughter.
And your son is doing the bullet point, right?
Yeah, the girls are too, but he wants to do it. They're just doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're stuck in the gym. They might as well embrace it.
Yes.
Totally.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Mike, do you have kids? Do you have children?
Yeah, 22.
22-year-old?
22 years old.
22 years old, yeah. Last year of college.
Got the whole spectrum in here. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Abby, what brought you to the Bullet Point Open? How did you find out about it?
You know, I was first introduced to it when I was pregnant with Lillian, and a bunch of people signed up for it, and I actually hadn't heard of it. I didn't know about it. And so it was, you know, they were all doing it, and I did it scaled at that time. You know, I was already showing and stuff. So I specifically remember doing burpees over the rower, but like stepping. And I was like, oh, that's it. I'm in. Like, this is fun. And then, you know, I talk trash with John all the time because I'm the coach, or I'm the judge who always has to be like, oh, sorry, I screwed up my validation. Can you change that for me? And he was just so cool. And so I really like to support him, and he's just super cool guy. And I love that we can get our whole community in it, all different levels. I feel like people are a little less intimidated to do the bullet point than a lot of the other competitions. So
Yeah, for sure.
Even more than the CrossFit Open, I think.
Agreed. Yeah.
Awesome. For everyone listening, annoy John as much as possible. He loves it. He loves those messages. So just any question, just send it over to him. He really appreciates it. James knows.
Yeah. If you really annoy him, he'll call you out on Facebook.
Well, I'm glad he hasn't done that yet. I'm sure he's doing it.
Anywho, so we kind of touched on the idea of community, and you were hinting at it a little bit there, Abby. So all of the craziness that's going on in the world right now, COVID fitness, you know, Wisconsin, we've all got different restrictions socially, county-wise, statewide, for everybody that, you know, kind of looks different. What have you been doing to kind of keep that sense of community, that connection going through all of this?
Yeah, you know, it's hard. It's been a challenge, that's for sure. It's been a lot of trial and error. You know, we tried everything. You know, everyone quick switched over to Zoom. Just, you know, offering different time classes. You know, we were in the mandatory shutdown, obviously, like everyone else. You guys talked about that last week. For me, like, I tried to, you know, I mean, we're a smaller box, and so for me, it's easy to personalize things and individually reach out to people. Hey, are you staying on track? What do you need from me? What do you need from the other coaches? You know, and people really like that. You know, we're still having that contact. But then, you know, we did a lot of like different kind of challenges, just shake things up a little bit. So, you know, we did, you know, some 8-week challenges, that kind of thing. And now that we're all, you know, back in the gym, you know, it's just about respecting people. Like, hey, you know what, certain people have different comfort levels, and that's okay. You know, we just have to broaden our offerings and do a lot more cleaning. And so I don't know, we just adapt, right? Just like anything, you just have to roll with the punches. You may not like it, but you just got to roll.
Yeah, for sure.
Rock and roll.
Exactly. Where does the things like the Bullet Point Open, where does that fit into, or where has it historically fit into with Bark River CrossFit? I know you said you played all the sports, so you know, competition is obviously a big part of your personality and what fuels you. So where does it fit in with the community?
As far as like, what do we do? Is that what you mean? Like,
sure. Yeah. We start there.
Yeah, I mean, we do the Friday night lights. Although, you know, after listening last week, you guys are talking about, you know, these Saturday brunches and Sunday potlucks. So I'm like, okay, we'll reevaluate that. Um, but it's a little bit different again because everyone's at a different comfort level right now. So normally we had our Friday night lights and we would do, spirit weeks. And this year I'm not pushing it as much. I'm just saying, hey, whatever you guys are comfortable with, coming in, but I still want people to, support each other. We did just change our programming. So I'm not putting the bullet point workouts in as part of the programming, just because I need them to focus and kind of get a grip on what it is. And people get so fixated on redoing the bullet point or any sort of workout. So, but yeah, I mean, people love the bullet point. I think this year people are enjoying coming and watching other people and drinking as they want, you know. But you guys have to and you guys probably all realize this, that we've all been kind of in quarantine. We've all been doing kind of different things. And so now to say to these members and, athletes, hey guys, now let's do a competition. Like, be smart. Like, especially because these are all repeat workouts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a lot of these people are like, oh, I got this score at that, that year, and I got this score at this year. And it's like, okay, but you guys have, missed a couple of months, and not necessarily missed, but you're at a different place in your life. So you have to change your expectations. And that's really hard for some people.
Oh,
myself included. I'm totally guilty.
Yeah, I've been having that conversation quite a bit after week one. We have mask wearing in our facility. So people are like, oh my God, my meters sucked or my time sucked overall. And it's like, well, you are wearing a mask and trying to do a 10 round, endurance workout. So there's that into consideration. Or with the strength, I was hitting more weights. Well, haven't really been touching a barbell. You've
exactly,
been doing a bit of day drinking because you're working from home, and you haven't been sleeping the best, and your body hurts, and all those things, because they're, like you said, we become so fixated on that number on the leaderboard, or that thing we did that one time, that we don't give ourselves a little bit more grace and realize all the other things that we've got going on right now.
And on that, something that this is the third year we do the bullet point, and something that we have done from the very beginning is we don't allow no one to redo the workouts. So whatever you got that first time, that's what you get. You either put your 100% on it, or you just messed it up. So you only get one chance. So
that's tough.
Oh, that's mean.
I love that, Mike.
Yeah.
I love
But
that.
It's good. It's smart. I like it.
If you go to a live competition, you don't get a redo.
Exactly, and that's what I try to tell people too. But
yes,
I like it. So have you had any of the members approach you though from the other standpoint, like the flip side of that is with the remote competitions or the virtual competitions, you can practice or do it, see how it kind of affects you, and then come back with a different strategy. Has anyone come at you with talking tactically?
they have tried, but I go back to my first point. I was telling, in a real life competition, you still don't get to rethink and redo. If you're gonna do something the first time, go ahead and do it with all your heart right now and get what you get. Because at least not in here, you will not get a second chance to do that. And so far, once you see them that they don't have an option, you can tell that they're going all in on that one try that they will get.
Heck yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
What about you, James? How many you have any redos this week at your gym? Anyone?
Yeah, I'm all right with redos. We just did Friday morning open gym. So last week I let them redo it then. But this week, the deadlifts, this one's pretty quick. So I actually programmed it for yesterday and then on Saturday again. So I like deadlifting and I like burpees. It's my favorite. This is my favorite workout of all of them.
Gross.
So Yeah. So they're doing it twice if they want. Otherwise, on Saturday, there's another workout they can do if they don't want to do it again, if they went all in. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Abby, do you how do you handle redos at your gym?
I'm really on the fence because I personally don't like to redo them. Just like Mike said, like you don't get a chance in real life to do that. But that competitiveness comes out of me when I see that score that, it's like, oh, I could probably do better. And I really like to videotape myself so I can analyze and like, oh, wait, okay, I could definitely change this or honestly, it depends. So that's me personally. And I allow the athletes to do the same.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I don't want them coming in. We had one guy last week. I swear he did the gesture complex every single day last week. And I was like, just stop. Just stop.
Yeah. That's the only open workout I've ever redone in the same year. So, if the same workout pops up a different year, obviously I do it again. But gestures complex is the only, because I'm with Mike totally. You can skill practice, break apart the workout on your own, doing some workouts, some skill work, but like 3, 2, 1, go when you're actually doing the open workout. I've always been of the mindset you get that one shot. But yeah, gestures complex just went full meathead the first year that came out with a couple friends, both in town and remote, and I think we all gave ourselves elbow and shoulder tendonitis from the heavy repetition of doing that workout every day. And then we would send the video to the group, and the other guys would be like, "Oh, you jerk," and then they'd redo it and send the video, and yeah, it was bad. I've never had elbow tendonitis that bad before. So there you go. Don't redo workouts, or do it intelligently and not every day.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, Abby, is there anything else you wanted to touch on from the first episode that kind of just like as a coach, athlete, community member that you wanted to...
other than, okay, so you guys talked about your rope tantrums, and I do want to say that I have thrown a tantrum, okay? It was Annie. Annie was my jam, it was like, my first RX, girl benchmark, super cool, like double unders are my jam. And I was going to beat my score, and when you trip up even once in Annie, like it's over, just be done, sit down.
Not a PR.
Yeah. And I tripped up 3 times in one round, and I took that rope and I threw it and I sat down. I walked away and sat down, and my friend was there, and she's also a coach, and she looked at me, she goes, "Bad attitude."
Yes, like, good.
Damn it. And then I knew she was right? So I picked up my rope, I did the walk of shame, I walked back to my spot, and I finished.
On which set?
What's that?
Which set you did that?
Which set?
Yes.
I don't remember. It was Annie.
Right?
Honestly, it was in the very middle of it. And I was just like, okay, just suck it up. Like, you're going to get a workout. Stop being, like, you got to be a role model for everyone else. Like, knock it off. Dude, it's the red hair, guys. It's the real thing. It's fire. It's hothead.
You got to go for those PRs when nobody else is in the gym.
Yeah.
Maybe, right. It was a long time ago. It was right after I had Lillian, right? It was like hormones.
Making the comeback. You were on your way.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love that you're bringing that up in here. So there you go. the jump rope tantrums.
Yeah,
they're my favorite.
It's real.
They're my favorite thing to talk about.
It's embarrassing afterwards, right? Because you know better.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, especially when you're a coach, it's like,
look away. No one look at me. Go back to your workout.
Yeah, right.
It slipped. I need to chalk up. It's obviously what happened. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Anywho, double unders. We were just going through those. I've got a younger athlete I'm working with, and he does everything in his power not to do double under skill day. Like,
really?
his shoes come untied. He's has to take like 4 water breaks. His phone isn't in the right spot to analyze his technique. It's like, no, just do the damn work. I think there's a little bit of embarrassment going on, for whatever reason. He's a college kid, they get embarrassed about weird stuff. So I don't know.
A college kid or teen?
He's a college kid.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think they're someone who's pretty athletic and they've got a lot of things that come naturally, and that double under is definitely not one of them. So there's a level of discomfort in that coming from being vulnerable and exposed, and typically you can just rely on your natural athleticism, and in regards to that movement there's nothing saving them other than having to put in the work. So yeah, I was just working with them today. That's why I was reminded of that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't golf. Never been able to do it. Just
there you go.
Don't do it.
There you go. Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
The all parts of it are driving, short game. What are we talking about specifically?
Short game's okay. I just literally I have a double under tantrum, and I just
whip the
just
golf
don't
club.
have the time for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And CrossFit's an expensive enough hobby that I can't pick up another expensive hobby.
There you go.
The Happy Gilmore, right?
Right.
Start smashing it. I like
Are you
it.
too good for your home?
I just imagine James out there just like the divot you leave in the ground and just crushing, not ending well.
No finesse.
All right, let's roll into resolutions. So we all chatted a little bit before this, and this is it's a big thing in the health, fitness, wellness world. I'll be the first to admit it. We use that energy at our gym because it's a great way to get people in the door, right? talk about the resolutions, the challenges in the new year, and then we get them in and we trick them and we realize we get them to realize it's all about just constantly working on a little bit of improvement. Like, you're great with who you are. It's not necessarily you losing an arbitrary amount of weight that's going to make you feel better, or starving yourself, or the weird diet, or the weird powders, the cleanse, the community aspect, the hard work part of it. We sneak that stuff in, we sprinkle that in. So I wanted to touch base with this group of coaches on resolutions, kind of your thoughts on it, how you approach it, because I'm sure there's quite a few people at your gyms that are talking about it, doing challenges or diets or whatnot, and I'd like to hear a little input.
I can go first. I don't really I've never done a resolution myself, and I don't encourage it, but if somebody has a resolution, I totally understand that, like, the power of a community and somebody helping you. So I support it if somebody does it. I do remind them, like you're saying, that it's just the chipping block away at the end goal of just bettering yourself. But this year I did make a miniature resolution, kind of ish, that because 2020 was like such a number, right? And everybody's like 2021 was going to be completely different. So I just made a yeah, I know. We thought that.
Yeah, we did. We're adorable.
I made a resolution that I was just going to be realistic and just keep doing and keep pushing on and try to stay positive. And I did a kind of a little resolution that way. So
I like it.
Yeah, attitude. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
Going back to James real quick. So do you, other than the Bullet Point Open, do you do anything gym-wise, community-wise? Is there anything going on?
We don't do 6-week challenges. We have never done a challenge other than little ones. Like, we did a rucking challenge, like adding a little volume this summer when we were all locked out. But we've never really done challenges. We don't really try to drive people in our door. We're a little bit different gym. I think I've talked to Abby about this, but we actually just hit cap on our membership yesterday.
Nice.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Congrats, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, right? That's a congrats, not like a I'm sorry that you can't have more people.
Well, part of it is class sizes. So I would have to add class sizes, and we're happy where we're at. So yeah, we just don't do any of those. And yeah.
Nice. No, hey, you literally can't squat with James anymore. It's full.
That's right. Can't add any more racks. I have no more room.
Yeah,
We added
for everybody at home, sorry. Yeah. Is there a wait list for people if they were to listen or watch this and they live near you?
No.
No.
But they can buy programming if they want. I do have some people that I program, but
Perfect.
other than that, it's the community thing and people walking in through the door. Online programming to me is just too much work typing back and forth every day, so I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's brutal. Definitely brutal. No, I love that, man. I think it's awesome, and it's especially with pandemic fitness, pandemic community, right? Like you want to be respectful, mindful of your current membership, and you know they're taking a certain level of chance on choosing our facilities, the groups of people they're working out with, and that's setting a cap, being respectful. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Who wants to roll next?
Okay.
Ladies first.
Okay. Okay, resolutions. So, I mean, like I said before, like I'm not a big fan of the whole new year, new you, because you're sending a message to yourself that I'm not good enough. Something about me is wrong and I need to change it. And a lot of people take that to the extreme and they go, okay, I'm gonna clean up my nutrition. I'm gonna get my sleep. I'm gonna get my hydration. I'm gonna get all my workouts and I'm gonna do this, and they're gonna revamp everything. Cool. A week in, it's like, oh my God, it's too much. And then they just cancel everything, right?
Yeah.
So I'm all for habit changing, right? Just like in the gym, our small, consistent behaviors, just the little things is, it turns into the big things. What is that? Okay, you guys, I'm really bad at like sayings and stuff, but the small pebble with the rolling moss turns into whatever, right? Isn't there a saying like that?
Probably.
Come on, guys.
So we'll do a Google search while you're talking. Small pebble.
Yeah, do that. Turning into the big boulder or whatever. But it's about the small behavior and habit changes. So yes, do I support people when they're like, oh, Abby, I got a resolution. This is I'm gonna back squat 300 pounds this year. Okay, if they're relatively close, like cool, I'm all for you. Let's figure out a way that we can help. But my big three things, and I talk about this a lot with just anything really as far as goals, there's no magic start date. I tell people when they're like, oh, it's just not the right time. There's never a perfect time, but there's also never a better time. So just start now, right? Just because it's the first of the year, the turnover, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Okay, now we're 3 weeks. How many weeks are we into the new month? Whatever. Some people might go, well, it's too late. I'll start thinking about 2022. Well, no, you can still start. Like, okay, so number one, start now. Number two, find something you really enjoy. Okay, so if we're talking about, working out, health and fitness. So, CrossFit, of course, I'm biased to CrossFit because I love CrossFit and I see the benefit of it, and the programming and the methodology is something I'm very passionate about. But fine, if you want to go do, pick up cross country skiing. Sorry, you guys don't have snow down there, do you, Mike? No, okay.
Nope.
So what would you do? You do some sort of trail running or something fun or Zumba? I don't know.
We have the water really close by, so.
Okay, there you go. So pick up swimming or something, right? Just find something that you enjoy and that you're going to want to do. Because if we tell ourselves, well, I have to go run every day or I have to go do this, and it's all about the mindset. I'm a mindset nerd, guys. And so it's all about that positive talk and how you're talking to yourself. And okay, I get to do this. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited to go, do my workout, rather than, well, I have to do it because it's going to keep me healthy. Now, also, don't get me wrong. Like sometimes you just have to suck it up and you have to do it because it is good for you. So don't find a cop out there. All right. So number one, start now. Number 2, find something you like. Number 3, find a way to measure it, right? The only way that we can progress in anything in life is if you measure it. It's got to be, there's got to have measurable data to it. So with workouts, cool. We use whiteboard or a notebook, which also, yeah, great talk last week, guys, with the whiteboard. Because people always get over those, like, especially I hate to call it the newbies, but the newbies get obsessed with that, right? Ooh, I want to mark the RX. Ooh, I want to beat so and so, whatever. But so you guys gave me some good ideas on how to kind of combat that a little bit with not posting right away. Or I've always said that I'm going to do like a blackout week where I'm not going to post the workouts beforehand so people can't cherry pick and all that. But anyways, measurable data, right? Nutrition, you record what you eat, not necessarily weigh and measure your food, but just to see habits, and then you can see your progress. But if you don't have that data, you can't actually see. You go based off feel. So those are my 3 takeaways. Resolutions. Done.
Resolutions done. Were you thinking snowball effect, going back to your pebble thing?
Sure, it was like a rolling stone.
Yeah, that's like, I think I found it, but it starts off as like a small snowball, rolls downhill, gathers more snow, gets really big. Yeah, becomes larger. But no, I like the three takeaways. Get started, find something you enjoy, and find a way to find something to hold you accountable, or whatever that looks like. So for some people it's attendance, some people, like you said, learning to log your food, just being able to analyze your habits. For some people, that you get to a point and measuring is the equivalent of someone else who's just starting a food log, right? Like it's where you're at on your journey. Your accountability measure is going to be a little bit different, or a little bit more in depth, on the level of the nerdiness you need to get with your numbers.
Totally.
I like it. Mike, what do you got for us?
Present. So I don't believe in resolutions. I don't think that, at least personally, that you shouldn't wait until the right moment, like Abigail says, to do something. Right now is the right time to do something, to start something, or to finish something. We've been open almost 3 years also, and we have never done a challenge, because I think challenges can bring people in. Once you're done with that challenge and things go the other way, or not the way they thought, then they're going to blame the fitness didn't work for them. What it didn't work, it was that they didn't change their habits. They wanted something new, but they didn't change anything else. So we don't do challenges at all. We haven't done any single one at the gym for that reason. I don't do them. Like I said, right now is the right time. And life can be taken in 1 second, and everything can change in just 1 second. That's all it takes, so why wait? And again, if somebody has a goal of having something done, I'm one of those that it will tell you right away, I don't care if I hurt your feelings or not. That's bullshit. You can do that in 6 months. So pick something else. And if it's something that they can achieve, then we'll work on it as their personal goal. But it's not, it'll be just for them, nobody else.
Yeah. I feel so once you tell them that, like, start today, you have that talk with them, how many people just like show up at your gym? They're like, so can I come right now? Just like, they're just like fired up. Cause I was just like, Mike, I want to go work out with you right now. Like,
so you see, we also have a class cap on our classes, and whenever someone brand new comes in, I will have a spot for that person for that first day. And it'll be, okay, you want to start now? Let's do it.
I like
and
it.
We'll get them in the door that same day. And then something that I like to do, once I know what you want from our gym, I chase you. So we'll have people, I want to work out 3 or 4 times per week. and they came in on Monday and it's Friday, they haven't show up. I like, where the fuck are you? So I will
like
call
it.
people, I will text people, hey, what happened tonight, and things like that, because they might come with that goal or that challenge that they want to do for the year, but then they don't want to follow up because it's too hard.
Yeah.
So that's something that I like to chase people.
I picture like you're the most disappointed dad look that you've ever had in your life. I picture that as a image that you just text to people. like if they're
like I don't know why, but I don't have a filter in my face either. So when someone says something, I go like, really? And I've been told before that the same way I text is the same way I express myself face to face. So I guess there's no difference.
Yeah, no, I've gathered that just on after two episodes, or working on our second episode. I'm like, this is an honest dude. Like there is no fluff. This is a well, I mean, like you said with the whole resolution thing, start today, right? Like you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Life can be changed, altered, things taken from you. You know, you've
my life changed in 1 second. That's all it took for my life to change.
Yeah.
When I got shot, and I wasn't planning on it. So all the plans that I got shot on a Friday. All the plans that I had for that weekend went south because I didn't plan for that. So why wait? Why? You never know when it's going to happen. So you never know when something is going to change. You know.
Damn. No, I love it. Anybody else? Anything? That's going to be hard to follow up on if you did have something to conclude with. But
we call it day one. That's what I say to people, day one can repeat. You know, I'm sure we've all been there. You start something, like you said, you can't plan for it, but you can repeat it. You can fall off or something. I've even started programs myself and then been sidetracked, and day one just starts over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. It's like school.
You don't quit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. So I guess kind of taking that as a segue, the idea of don't quit, you know, James, you're talking about day one. What are all of your thoughts on that idea? So a lot of people, you know, they like Abby was saying, they've got all these different things they want to change, and let's say they try to change them all, and after a week, you know, your body's overloaded. It's just too much change. Is that a failure? Do you quit? Do you start over, you know, that day when you realize, like, all right, maybe I bit off more than I could chew? Like, how do we foster that mindset, or talk about that mindset of setbacks, hurdles, obstacles? That's not failure. It's not a reason to quit. It's you know, it's part of your journey.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like for you, coaches? If you want to elaborate.
I a lot of times refer to professional athletes. You know, if they want to do something, they don't just change everything about what they do. They change one little thing to try to get better. Except for Shaquille O'Neal, he never did try to do more free throws. But you know, like I just try to compare it to that, because this professional athlete who you hold on this pedestal isn't changing 12 different things about themselves for their end goal. They're changing something, just one little thing, working at that, getting done with that goal, moving to the next one. So
I like it.
Yeah.
And I think on what we do as coaches, if someone is coming to look for help, it's our duty to let them know, hey, let's try to do just one thing at a time. Don't change your nutrition, working out, and doing this, and that, because they're going to fail. Somewhere down the road, they're going to fail. They're going to miss something. It's going to get hard for them. If we guide them to do something one step at a time, like let's try working out for 30 days. And then we change a little bit on what you eat, and then small goals like that. And that's why they're looking for help. Mm-hmm. And that's why they come to us. And sometimes we fail them as coaches because we don't stop them, or we don't try to stop them on what they're doing, and we know what they're doing is not going to work.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, could be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Abby, you got anything for us?
I mean, you guys, I'm a woman of few words. Haven't you noticed? um, I mean, you guys are pretty much nailing it, but I mean, really, it's just about. I mean, you have to trust. I mean, you know, I have to trust my other coaches. My other coaches are the ones who are, you know, are in there daily much more than I am. You know, I'm trying to just kind of run the place, but I'm in there working out with them and stuff. But for me, it's about recognizing you see the people who are hungry, right? You can see it when they come in. You can see it with, you know, in the first week that they're there. You know, and it's just about having real conversation with them and saying, hey, you know what, man, I know this is super exciting for you. Are you getting recovery? Are you, you know, putting, like, are your priorities where they should be? You know, I know you want to see this, you know, this is, you know, this is what your goal is, but are you doing this in order to get there? You know, it's really just about recognizing and understanding how people tick, really. I think more than anything.
Yeah, definitely a big part of coaching.
Yeah.
reading the person in front of you, the group in front of you, and yeah, seeing where your experience, your knowledge can potentially help this person.
Yeah,
I like it. What for you specifically, like when you were first started, you were on the gains of CrossFit, right? You've adopted it. You're training hard, making the gains. You become pregnant. You have your child. What did that kind of the psychology of that look like for you coming back into it? Having you made all these gains, learned all these skills. You know, you have your child, and now you're day one again, right?
yeah.
Afterwards.
You know, and back then, you know, she's only 5, guys. You know, they didn't have these things like, you know, now they've got all these like post pregnancy, post birthing, you know, actual like CrossFit stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like the birth fit program and all these things. And so really, I mean, I just used my you know, old school personal training knowledge, you know, to work back on, you know, the core and the midline, and just, I mean, luckily I was able to bounce back pretty quickly, you know, after Lillian. But I really listened to my doctor. I was scared to like work out until, you know, at least 6 weeks after. You know, I don't know what I thought was going to happen, that, you know, my abs were going to never work again or whatever. Everyone, you know, just, they did the fear factor, and I totally bit into it. But no, it's really just about you just got to be patient with yourself. And you know, it was nice for me to have a coach at that time to say, Abby, like, why are you trying to jump back into this? Like, just settle down. Like, just slow your roll. You're fine. You're going to build up. You know what you're capable of. You're going to get there. Just slow down. You know, and it's just like, that's the world we live in right now, right? Instant gratification. Everyone wants something and they want it now. So it's really, again, just that mental, like, you have to be realistic, and you have to trust the process. That's what we say in our gym all the time. Trust the process.
Was there more personal trust in yourself in the process after the twins? After all the, you know, you're in the hospital for as long as you were afterwards, and all those.
I mean, that was a shit show. Let's be real. I mean, after that, I was much more anxious because I knew how quickly I bounced back from Lillian, and I didn't, you know, account for how much your body really changes carrying twins, because you guys all really understand, you know, this conversation. Sorry. But for the ladies out there.
Yeah.
And the woman body is just amazing. Like, the things that we are capable of and do, it's crazy. But no, that was much more difficult afterwards. I mean, I had a lot of back problems, and then I decided, hey, you know what? We definitely met like our deductible and everything with insurance. And so I needed wrist surgery. So decided to do that right off the bat. Like, let's just get it all in. So honestly, it took me probably a good year and a half to really bounce back from all of that, or come back from all of that and feel good again.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a long process, you know, and I see, you know, Annie Thor's daughter post all these things, you know, about how frustrated she gets. And I get it. Oh, it is, you know, and you guys know, like anyone who's competitive and you've been able to achieve something, it's always going to be in the back of your mind when you do that movement or when you do that workout or whatever, you know, it's like, but I know that I could do this, but I should be able to do it now. Well, no, you know, and it's like you have that internal dialogue. So
yeah,
it's a learning process, that's for sure. So
it.
boys, you be nice to all the ladies.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for sharing. No, I've had the luck of coaching quite a few moms through, like, coach them in CrossFit while they're pregnant, through their pregnancy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the like you were saying, I've got a background in sports medicine. We go through the pregnant athlete, what that looks like, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, I'm a dude that's read books. Yes, I've worked with pregnant athletes, and the big thing I always remind them is, like, here are some resources, some people I've worked with. Go talk with them, because everyone's journey is different through pregnancy, through motherhood, what your body goes through, and go talk to the experts. I'm an idiot. I can splurt back what the book says, but at the end of the day, I've never gone through this. I don't know what this is like. Right. I do enjoy taking the dads though and strapping a 20-pound med ball to them with plastic wrap and then making them do workouts. That I do take joy out of. So if anyone listening, please do that to your partner. It's fantastic. Post pictures of it, videos of them just dying with this med ball strapped to them. But no, thank you for sharing that. Really appreciate it. More stories like that, if they could get shared out into the public space, I think a lot of moms would benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bam. Any we got last thing on the list here.
Yeah, let's talk about this workout already. Come on.
Here we go. Return of the
I want to hear your guys'
dead. My guilty pleasure on this workout is watching people suffer and struggle with how to load a barbell to go through this efficiently, and then I like recording them doing bar over burpees, so we can laugh at how inefficient they are with, like, the extra steps, the pitter patter, not knowing where to put, right? You're like, just do a burpee, go to the other side of the barbell. And people are like spinning in circles. They're taking all these extra steps. They don't know what to do with their hands. They do like a crossover step and they trip on the barbell.
That's bad.
Those are all my favorite things.
Okay, wait a minute.
That's my guilty pleasure on this workout.
Will, did you like watch me when I did this afternoon? Like, I'm just curious.
I've watched so many people do this workout and I'm, I just let people. My coaching style is sarcasm, support, and I'm gonna let you struggle. I'm gonna let you struggle a little bit before as long as it's not gonna cause you any harm. If it bruises your ego, I'm totally okay with that. I have no problems watching that happen. I will hold a safe space for you to struggle, fail, and bruise your ego and not judge you. Might laugh at you a little bit, but I won't judge you. So yeah, I probably did watch you do this workout. So that's my little guilty pleasure in this workout. Who's next? Then we can dive. Who wants to jump into the workout? I guess who wants to start there?
I did the workout. You did it today, Abby?
I did.
I did this the first time it came out. I actually told my members this. It's kind of embarrassing. So my dad got me into weightlifting, and I had done this workout twice. I'm like, I just know I can go faster. You watch your video, you look ridiculous. You're doing these weird things. You think you're jumping right next to the bar and you're like 5 feet away from it. And so I thought it would be a good idea to do it in my basement and have him count for me. Um, but I'm used to the way my wife counts for me, and he counts as you're doing the rep instead of as you finish it. And it just like, I couldn't handle it. So I screamed during the workout. And it was like, so it totally ruined that. So that's when I started like actually dialing it back a little bit on the redos. But I did it on Tuesday with the morning class. I just had to go to work and I did it. And I'm like, I'm only going to do 2 rounds in the first 2 minutes because I just know what's going to happen, because I've done this 3 times and yelled at my dad. So I know what's going to happen. So I did that actually for the first 2 rounds to be smart, and then did 3 plus the last 2 rounds just to sell out, to get that. I think you get more Fran lung with this than you do with actually Fran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been all day.
Yeah. So just for the feedback, and we did change the weights this year for the RX. It was heavier. So that is a different feeling going from that 315 to that 225 than it was before. I feel like that 315 zaps your CNS a little bit. And then when you grab that 225, it literally feels like the same weight. So there's no positive reinforcement in your mind. Like, what just happened? So that's my feedback on it. And I don't think wearing a belt is a good idea on this workout. And last week I said a belt's a good idea. A belt's going to not be a good idea for me.
Yeah, I've got a few people where they're signed up for intermediate or RX, and that starting weight is like a deadlift PR. So we've been treating the last couple weeks as if this is going to be a meet day. So it's like, we're gonna warm up properly. 3, 2, 1, go. That's like your first attempt at a powerlifting meet, right? Like you're gonna belt up. You're gonna have chalk. That 2 minutes is literally you PRing your deadlift. Like, this is the biggest deal. And then we're gonna go from there. Like, if you think you can pull again, but otherwise we're gonna save it for the next round with a weight you feel comfortable with. So no, I totally agree. Unless it's like PR deadlift, right, because you're signed up and you're pushing yourself in a certain division. But yeah, the you're gonna pass out, or something bad's gonna happen. Abby, what do you got for us? We're after having completed this workout today.
Okay, so these are like, 2 of my, like, I'm not gonna say favorite movements, but they're stronger for me, and I really enjoy lateral burpees. So I went in with a plan, and then I changed the plan like an idiot. And I just go in with the plan and stick with the plan. Like,
yeah.
And so here's the thing, people are, because the standards are a little bit different, or you don't have to do conventional deadlifts. You could do sumo deadlifts, so people are just changing things. And it's like, okay, if you haven't done sumo deadlifts before, you have kind of an imbalance of the bar. You might want to widen your hands a little bit. You're going to have to take a little more time to get your setup. It's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's fine, but make the decision. And as far as the burpees, do what you're comfortable with. Like, you can do that funny little plank thing over,
Yep.
Because it doesn't require you to have a 2-foot takeoff.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I found that was a little more taxing for me, and I was doing really weird things. But also, so for the ladies, RX, how you load your barbell. I actually used a men's bar. Now I have like big hands, so it's easy. It was okay for me. But loading a men's bar, then you have lesser plates, and you don't have to take them off, put anything on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like logistically little games like that. But really just do what you're used to doing. And I agree, those first 2 rounds aren't nearly as important as people think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to conserve your energy for the last 2, so you can really sell out. So yeah, those are I think that's all I have for my takes. But yeah, be smart on how you load that bar.
And I think that's gonna be a big mistake on how people approach the workout, because they say, well, if I kill it on the first 2 rounds, then I can take it slower on the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
But the first 2 rounds are the heaviest ones, so those are the 2 ones that are gonna kill you the most. So I think if you keep a consistent pace all throughout the workout, you get a better chance
Mm-hmm.
of scoring more points than versus just going balls out on the first 2 rounds when the bar is heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I panicked. So I'm going to be redoing this one, Mike. Don't judge me. I'm not coming to your gym to do it. Okay. But I panicked because those first deadlifts were heavier than I thought they were going to feel. And so then I was like, oh man, I gotta go faster on these burpees to make up time. Well, your heart rate spikes so fast on those lateral burpees, right? Because you don't want to stand all the way up, so you would just gun it. So try to keep that heart rate a little more controlled on those first 2 rounds.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because
Definitely.
that first one can jack you up. I had one of my athletes yesterday. He had to do singles. Actually, 2 athletes. They were doing singles on the last weight, and they can deadlift probably as much as I can.
Yeah.
And we were laughing about it afterwards because they just went ham on the first 2, and they had nothing left. They were crisscrossing over the bar like yeah, it was. They laughed at themselves. I didn't even have to bring it up.
They're like, I don't know what happened. They had like extra body experience. Like their soul is out here, and they're just watching their bodies spastically work their way through this workout.
Yeah.
That
So-
1 minute break, I think, is a joke.
Yeah.
The
One of the guys is my coaches, and he told me it wasn't the heavyweight that blew his back up. It was the 135. And I was like, no, it was all the reps you did before that.
Right.
It's not the last weight.
That's the thing I've been just like hitting home to with a lot of people this week is you can't, like, if you I call it the pooping dog in my gym. Like when they just like slouch around their backs and it just looks awful, and they deadlift and they think it's good because they stood up with the weight. This is a workout, like if you do that in this workout, you allow yourself to, lose focus, get lazy with your deadlifts. You're not redoing this workout. Like you're gonna be so wrecked if you don't hold the standard on your deadlifts. Your body's gonna hate you.
Yeah. And there's gonna be people who overextend too.
Oh yeah.
Right. Especially on those lighter weights, they're gonna use too much extra energy and force trying to overextend because they're trying to overcompensate. And so yeah.
And with that many reps, that fast, I think that overextension also will take a big hit. Like if you're rounding your back on those deadlifts.
Oh yeah, definitely the extreme, the loaded extremes of spinal movement. Yeah, definitely watch for that when you're doing this workout. Mike, I'm curious what this workout looks like for you. So how are you changing the workout for the adaptive division?
So like this year's just on the guys, me and Chad. Chad doesn't have his arm, so he's not able to use the hand to do the deadlifts. I don't know if he's using a strap or not. And I do my deadlifts with the just one arm. Now, when I do deadlifts, I get really bad pain on my left side because I have to lift it with my right side, and all the strength is coming from that left side on the lower back. It's only 2 minutes at a time, total 8 minutes. So if I can manage the pain, I'll be okay. It'll be one of those workouts where that's gonna be the last workout for me of the week. Since I know I'm gonna be in pain after that. But I think we talked about injuries last week, but for myself, this is not an injury. It's just that's all I have to work with. So I just have to manage that pain, get through those 2 minutes, and then take it slower on the burpees, so I can have a better form on the deadlift and not be as tired. So, and then there's another lady. She's also have just pretty much what I have, the one side to use. and I think it would be the same thing for her. As long as she can manage that lower back pain, she'll be fine.
Gotcha. And I see Jody was the first one for women's adaptive, correct?
Yes, the other one,
I see we have Linda as well.
she's a normal person. She just had some big issues with the shoulders, and I think she had surgery and stuff like that, so she wasn't able to use it normally yet. But then something came up, and she's not actually doing the competition.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Cool. All right. James, you were going to say something before we...
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say that this is just like last week. It's a trap. That minute rest and weight change is not a weight change or a rest. It's, yeah.
I think that 1 minute break is just a 1 minute to realize how much pain are you having.
Yeah. It starts to throb. You start to throb.
The hamstring butt pump when I go into my weight switch, like 2 minutes is up, you're like, oh God, I get to rest. And as soon as I bend over to like take the weight off the bar, like the pump that's going on in my glutes and my hamstrings just starts cramping up, and I'm instantly wishing there was no break. I'm like, I just want to keep moving. I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Yes. Break.
Break.
Yeah.
Break. So, all right, we've got James. So how many times did you do this workout this week?
I just did this. I'm not competing, so I did it once so I could chat about it because I remembered it pretty vividly, but the weight change.
Yeah.
But I treated it like my workout, and then I did some cool down accessory afterwards, which I made my athletes do in class too. A lot of them just wanted to leave, and I'm like, no, you gotta
you're gonna lock up at home. You're gonna go work
but
from home.
I'm not gonna do it again. My competing days are way behind. I'm done with that. So.
How'd the wrist do on the burpees?
Oh yeah, the wrist's okay on the burpees. I go on my fingers, but I had to change my grip because I can't go under grip.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually slowed me down too because I have to think about that more. I have to, like Abby said, hand placement. I have to look at my right hand because I'm used to. So that changed a little bit, but it was a good excuse to slow me down and really stick to what I said I was going to do.
Strategy.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, after my wrist surgery, I did burpees, like just knuckle.
Yeah.
Because the flexion just hurts so bad, or the extension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just to keep it neutral. I don't know if that helps or not, but
it's getting better. But I don't know. Burpees actually hurt worse than handstand walking. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Right now, it'll be better.
yeah,
It'll get there.
Yeah.
Abby, you did it once, didn't stick to your plan. Gonna do it again.
I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna cry because it really hurt. It really hurt.
It's not a nice workout.
Right? I mean, I would do. It's a trap, like any day.
Oof. That's how strongly you feel about this.
It's
right.
really strong. Yeah. But I'm a pacer, right? You have to know what kind of athlete you are. I'm a pacer. Like, I'm not a sprinter. No.
Fair enough.
That burn, I just can't get past that burn. I'm like, okay, that burns. I should probably stop. Like, that's good.
Right. Yeah, I've done enough. Nope, you got to keep going. It's only 2 minutes. You can do anything for 2 minutes. And Mike's saving it for the end of the week so he can kick back and take a couple ibuprofen and stretch it out this weekend. Cool.
Big time massage and everything.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, coaches. Thanks. We hit an hour. Appreciate you coming on, sharing a little bit about resolutions, fitness. It's a big part of why I wanted to do this podcast. Just kind of talk shop with some fellow coaches, and then break down these workouts. So I really appreciate it. Abby, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
Well, great. Good to hear it. Let's. If anyone's got any concluding thoughts about the workout. Anything we touched on today or anything random in general, we'll finish with that.
Did you do it yet, William? Are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I did it yesterday with my buddy Derek, and he's a burpee phenom. Like, it's disgusting. Like, the weights are light enough for me where I could just touch and go everything, and that's the only thing that kept me anywhere near the area he was, because he had to do singles with like the first three sets. So that was, I set up so I didn't have to watch him, but just listening to him do burpees was just like, I could hear it over the music. Like, I could feel it in my feet when he would hit the ground, and I just like, stop going that fast. I'm 220 some pounds. Burpees, they're just dumb. I don't like them. It's not even psychological or like, oh, I can't do them. I can do them. I've got all the tips and tricks for a large person to do burpees. I can't ever get over the idea when I'm doing them. I just think about anything else I could be doing that would not be as dumb as burpees. And I'm like, I could be deadlifting more. I could go for a run. I could drink coffee. I could go take a nap. These are dumb. And that's I don't throw a temper tantrum though. I do them.
That's good.
I just complain about it internally and then afterwards on how much I dislike burpees. I dislike burpees so much. I didn't program or do anything with them for all of the lockdown. So, the lockdown happened, and I'm seeing all these like burpee challenges pop up, or the fitness people that are like, just wake up, do your 7 minutes of burpees. And I'm like, really? Is anyone else not tired of burpees? That was my thought. I'm like, so you're telling me these people are stuck at home, and you're like, let's give you burpees. That's the best you can do. I made a personal resolution last year during the lockdown to not program burpees, and I accomplished it. I didn't do burpees. I forget who. Somebody had a birthday at the gym in the summer, and they're like the really gung-ho chipper birthday burpee person, and I gave him a disgusted look, and I was like, fine, I'll do birthday burpees with you to break my burpee fast. I wanted them to appreciate just, how big of a deal it was, because I've never been sold on burpees. In all of the years I've been doing CrossFit, we could do something better. That's my personal feeling on burpees.
I know people don't like burpees, but that was amazing.
That was 5 minutes of not liking burpees.
Yeah, that's you get me started on burpees.
That's real passion.
Yeah, it's a strong dislike of burpees. Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. But I did the workout. I hated it just as much as last time, and I won't redo it. So I stuck to, like Mike was saying, I used my displeasure of burpees to fuel my performance, and I got after it. And then I laid on the floor for a while, and rolled around. Like, this is one of those workouts where the pump is bad enough where I can just use the floor to foam roll, like just like pathetically rolling on my back side to side like Ralphie's brother in A Christmas Story. Like, that's enough. All right, feels good. I'm like, all right, this is a good place to be. I'm gonna lay here for a while. Yeah. We can talk about that next time. Laying on your back after a workout and everyone's thoughts on it, because that's a bit of a hot topic with some coaches. So I'd like to pick your brains on it. Anyways, I'm gonna stop there on my burpee concluder. Anybody else have anything to conclude on?
I mean, I feel like you need to go do some burpees to blow off some steam now. You're like fired up.
No, not. I'm gonna actually do the opposite. I'm gonna go not do burpees and feel better about it. Anybody? Mike, you got any concluders?
Good luck to your Abigail again on doing it.
I like it. Solid.
Don't mess up your weight change.
That's the big one. Or do and film it so everybody can watch and laugh. Because it's when someone, they like lock up in that minute of rest and they can't remember what they have to do, or they realize their weight change doesn't make sense and they have to like strip a bunch of weights off, put it back on. Yeah, those are my favorite moments.
Write it on a whiteboard. That's what I did.
Yep.
Strip.
I had somebody actually draw it out on their scorecard I gave them. I'm like, what's on your back of your scorecard? And it was literally the barbell drawn out with weights on it. And the weights were labeled, and then they had like little spacers or hands, like showing which ones they had to take off when. And I was like, I like that. As someone who appreciates creativity and art, it was well done. I might hang that on the fridge at the gym as a proud coach. Like this is what everyone should strive for. This level of preparedness.
This planning.
Exactly. All right. With that, yeah, get after some deadlifts this week. Do burpees. And if you like burpees, that's cool. Good for you. All right. I'm done on burpees. All right. Thanks again, coaches. Appreciate you coming on. And we'll see everybody next week.
Sounds good.
See you later.
Bye, guys.